Hey everyone, my name is Norm. I'm with UPLIFT Desk. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming out. This is truly an incredible event. We're seeing a lot of smiling faces, both from the guests and from the staff here. So thank you for being out here. I also really want to highlight one of the special reasons we're here. Every sale that we do with the code THIRD, that's THIRD. Every sale that we do with that's promo code attached. The proceeds for that are going to be going to the Derrick Johnson Defend the Dream Foundation.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So if you are interested in upgrading your office, your space, work, use that code, and also get 10% off that whatever's in the checkout card. Next, I definitely want to thank Third and Longhorn for being here. This is a really exciting event that we have coming up, or that we're a part of, and it really means a lot.
Stand up for a healthier workday. UPLIFT Desk is the leader in ergonomic sit-stand desk solutions, proven to improve posture and boost energy throughout the day, even in those groggy post-lunch slumps. Highly versatile and customizable to fit your needs, there's an UPLIFT Desk that's right for you. Build one today at upliftdesk.com.
So with that being said, I want everybody to go ahead and give a big round of applause for Third and Longhorn, your host.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. And before we get started, shout out to all the folks at UPLIFT that have made this happen. They've been so awesome, and we appreciate everything. And we're huge fans of this place. Most people don't know this, but we don't do a lot of ads. We don't do a lot of promos. We choose stuff that we really care about and really believe in. And this is a place and a product that we really believe in. Their stuff's incredible. I mean, like, these desks are crazy. You can they got everything's modular. So they got like little mics, like mic stands, like all these different things. It's so well thought out. We love it. They got this beautiful Texas desk, right? Yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is. And we're at one right now, the burnt orange one. I'm preferable to the black one. It is what it is. But we appreciate everybody being here. So we're gonna do this today. We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're kind of doing our season superlatives, so things like offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and we haven't voted on these yet. So we're gonna kind of do this live. I'm gonna try to hold all the guys to 30 seconds, Jeremy, and try to keep it semi-short. Okay. But we'll kind of go through each one. I'll kind of give some suggestions, but then I want to hear these guys' thoughts on that. So we always start this off the same way. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Third and Longhorn. I'm your host, Nick Shuley. I'm joined by lifetime Longhorn legends Jeremy Hills, Fozzy Whittaker, Rod Babers, Derrick Johnson, Alex Okafor, and the man behind the computer, Mark Higgins. Mark, say hi to the folks.
Hi, Mark.
This guy. Well, let's get right into it, guys. A great season. I know people were a little bit disappointed. Obviously, Texas didn't make the playoffs, but I think the main feeling here is that this team by the end of the year was one of the best teams in the entire country. And, you want a team to get better, and this team definitely progressed and got better. And by the end of the year, it was playing some of the best football. That being said, let's start with Offensive Player of the Year, right? So I'm going to give out a few suggestions, and then I want you guys to go down the row here and give your vote, and Higgs and I will tally them. So Offensive Player of the Year, Arch Manning, Trey Wisner. Sadly, he's he's with us. He's still alive. So he's just not on playing Florida State now. He's no longer with
Take off our hats.
We love Trey. Ryan Wingo, Trey Moore. Wait, why do we have Trey Moore?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I think that's a cut and paste problem.
That was a rough start.
I wanted to make sure you were paying attention.
I think you meant Trevor Gooseby was who you meant. So Trevor Gooseby. So without any further ado, Hills, I'm gonna start the clock here, and I'll probably just time you, and then let everybody else.
That's so crazy.
Who do you have for Offensive Player of the Year?
I feel like the easy answer here is Arch Manning, right? I think of how critical Alex Okafor was of his play early on in the season versus, where he wound up being by the time the season ended. But I want to go somewhere. I want to go Gooseby. I want to go Gooseby, and I'm going to tell you why. He replaced the second tackle selected in the draft last year in Kelvin Banks, who went, I want to say, number 8 overall or number 9 overall to the New Orleans Saints, right? So those some big shoes to fill. Or top 10. Yeah. You might as well get rid of that. Like those some big shoes to fill. Those are some huge shoes to fill. Now I can imagine the type of pressure that was on Arch Manning, but Arch Manning came in and I think the expectation was super high, but the shoes were relatively same size. As to where, Gooseby came in and it was like, no, we had Kelvin Banks Jr. for the last 2-3 years. It was a brick at left tackle. Will Anderson Jr. is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And I remember specifically a true freshman, Kelvin Banks, made me forget that Will Anderson was playing football that day. So, Trevor Gooseby stepped up. He stepped into those shoes, and he was solid at that left tackle. Why do you give me that? Give me it.
Said another.
It's time to move on.
So Hills got Trevor Gooseby. I love that pick.
He was solid. What is this? Am I speed dating? What am I doing? Let me answer the question. But Gooseby stepped in. You got the poor little Sandman. This is why it's hard to be serious at work with these people. Gooseby stepped in. He was phenomenal. He played that left tackle spot. And as that offensive line was figuring out who they were, we never had to worry about Trevor Gooseby.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fozzy, who you got?
Yeah, for me, it's Arch Manning. I think that's the easy answer, and for the reasons that Jay Hill kind of brought up. You look at somebody that needed to lead this team, somebody that took accountability, somebody that knew when his play was good enough and it wasn't. He was able to step up, go back to work, and the improvement that he showed throughout the course of the season, obviously, by the time it was all said and done, he looked like a very good and finished product. So I think Arch Manning, if we didn't have him on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think this Texas team would have won 10 games.
Rod, who?
It's Arch Manning, but to the point that Jay Hills was making, you only got one first-team All-SEC player on offense, and that is Trevor Gooseby. But Arch was so good at mitigating risk. People don't even talk about this. Texas was top 5 in turnover margin. Last year. Elite. You only had 7 picks by that young man. Arch was among the top 10 most pressured quarterbacks in all of college football, 6th most actually. And you only had 7 picks, only 22 sacks, by the way, too. You should have had a lot more sacks considering how pressured he was. He did a great job of mitigating risk in the last 5 games of the season. 16 total touchdowns, 1 interception, and 5 sacks. He was a beast. He was arguably a top 10 quarterback toward the end of the season. Sorry.
And that pick, you talk about the Georgia game pick.
Yeah,
right?
which was not his fault.
Man, that should have been
Which was not his
we
fault.
could talk about that later, but that one even shouldn't be in the stat book.
You're right.
So
You're right.
yeah.
DJ.
Yeah, with all those stats it just said, you gotta go with Archie Manning. And for me, it's mainly because of handling adversity. I think you kind of got to measure players how they handle when something goes bad. How do you handle? And I'm telling you what, from the media, from everybody was jumped off the bandwagon when you talk about Archie Manning, and then for him to finish like he did, strong, man. I tell you what, man, that tells me that our future is bright, and he's not. He obviously has it physically, but mentally he is super strong because he went through a lot and still came out on top.
Oak, what do you got?
Yeah, I got to go Arch Manning as well. When I look at this list, I look at Trey Wisner. I love him as a player, but we weren't that productive on the ground. Ryan Wingo, as the season was going on, he was learning how to be a true number one. Mosley, he was hurt half of the season, so I got to go Arch Manning. Now, Arch, he started off slow because there were unrealistic expectations placed upon him because of the likes of a guy like Jeremy Hill, expecting the team to go 12-0 in 2025. Where teams just go undefeated anymore.
We wasn't far from 12-0.
Okay,
I think so.
Difference of opinions, but we'll keep it moving. Arch played phenomenal down the stretch, and towards the end of the season, he was our best player on offense. When you look at how we played against Arkansas, when you look at how we played even against the Georgia game, he stood tall in the pocket. He was our best player. When pressure was all around him, he delivered. And kind of like Rod said, even when he wasn't playing at his best, he took care of the football.
Yep.
That's all you can ask for from a player at that position right there, with a guy still learning. People just think, oh, he had 2 starts last year. His last name is Manning. He's going to come here and he's going to set the world on fire. That's not how this works. That's not how the quarterback position works. You got to get better through experience. You got to get better through reps. And kind of like DJ said, the way we ended the season, that means we are ready to take off for next year. So Arch Manning is the offensive MVP.
So will we go 12-0 next year?
No.
Yeah, I don't. We're going to hold tryouts for another host on Third and Longhorn after this.
We got to keep expectations realistic. I know our fan base has a hard time doing that.
Yeah. This guy's terrible.
Mark Higgins, who do you have?
I hate to be the guy who just keeps saying the same thing, but I think Arch Manning. And only to kind of to what Derrick was saying, like he easily could have came up with excuses and just said, you know what, I didn't ask for this and I didn't, it wasn't my fault this happened. And he never did. I think that's his character and how strong he is. And so I do like Gooseby and I like your, going against the grain, but I'm going to say Arch Manning as well.
Yeah, I think that, look, I love your pick of Gooseby. And I think there's something to be said about when no one talks about a player, especially on the line. That's a good thing, right? You're not getting penalties. You're not, when you go unnoticed, that's a great thing. And Gooseby was that rock. However, Arch Manning, like I'm not sure anyone in college football has dealt with as much scrutiny, pressure, preseason hype, and to be called the biggest flop in the history of college football in that article by The Athletic, and to continue to keep your head down, to handle it like the way that kid handled it, the way there's a lot of ways that could go, and a lot of people handle that very differently. We've seen a lot of that from some other quarterbacks in college football that didn't handle these kind of things correctly. And Arch was a true teammate, a true leader. So I got to go Arch Manning. So Higgs, you don't have to tally this one. This one's easy. But so we call this award show. So our mascot that you guys can see on a shirt on Fozzy, that shirt. So we call him Threevo. So obviously Bevo's third and Longhorn 3. So it's called Threevo. So the awards are the Threevo. So this next year we'll go bigger budget and make our own award. This year our friends at Yeti have given us Yeti. So our offensive player of the year, Arch Manning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Give it up for Arch Manning.
Give it up for Arch Manning.
I like.
All right. Now, and Higgs, I figured out why you had Trey Moore on there. What you meant was DeAndre Moore, I believe. That makes sense. So.
Until he left us.
What's that?
Until he left us.
Yeah. He's still alive, though, as well.
True.
But all right, so let's get over to Defensive Player of the Year. I got a few suggestions, obviously. Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill Jr., Malik Muhammad, Jelani McDonald, Michael Taft, but I'll let you guys pick. Those are just some to get your heads going. Let's go the other way this time. Mark Higgins.
Well, I think it is definitely a coin toss between Mr. Simmons and Mr. Hill, but I'm going to go with Colin Simmons, just wreaking havoc all season and just so happy he can come back and just looking forward to him just coming out the gate firing again.
Yep, I like that. Oak.
I'm going to have to stay in the same bucket. I got to go Colin Simmons as well. When you talk about the edge position in the history of defensive ends at the University of Texas, Colin Simmons is as good as it gets, man. He's so young. 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Unbelievable for a player of his youth. It's crazy to see guys just come onto the scene and explode. There usually has to be a ramp-up period. That was not the case with Colin, even since last year. Right when he got into the program, he was an instant impact player. And you see it in year 2. You look at that Vanderbilt game, he was wreaking havoc. He was disruptive. He was knocking out plays by himself. I can't remember what play it was, but there was a play where he handled the handoff, the jet sweep, and first the fumble at the same time. So, I mean, this is the type of player he is. I'm excited. I know we only have him for one more season, so let's strap in and let's enjoy him.
Love it.
Yep. Absolutely, man. I cannot. You look at Anthony Hill Jr. Of course, I love linebackers, but did not finish the last couple games for being injured or whatnot. But Colin Simmons, big time. Not just on sacks, right? He's an edge guy, but being able to play the run, being able to have 15.5 tackles for loss, I think that's a big deal. That creates negative plays. But when you're on the edge, you're considered a defensive lineman, and when you can stay healthy the whole year, big deal to me. So it just tells you he's very doable.
It's Colin Simmons, but I feel bad because Anthony Hill, I'm not going to go on the soapbox here, but I feel like he was underutilized this year.
Yeah.
They should have been used more as a pass rusher. The guy had 8 sacks a couple of years ago.
And he loved rushing the pass. He loved it too. Yeah. I know.
He
can do it.
Like this, I'll give you a stat. Colin Simmons' pressure rate, 18% this year. Really good. He's elite, right? We all agree.
Yep.
You know what the career pressure rate for Anthony Hill is? 22%. He's at 30% in 2024. And yet he never had a season with triple-digit pass rush snaps. I think that's part of the reason that Sark got rid of PK. It was like, hey, man, that guy should have had at least 8 more sacks or double-digit sacks. Yeah. Why are we not weaponizing him more as a player? I think that was a big part of it. So I love Anthony Hill, but it's Colin Simmons. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm right there with him, Colin Simmons. I think he had the biggest impact on this defense. You talk about the forced fumbles, the sacks, the TFLs, the PBUs. He had 2 of those as well. It's just a force wherever he lined up. You had to slide the line to him because of the disruptive ability that he possessed. You also had to make sure you knew where he was no matter what down it was, because he's liable to wreak havoc. So it's just a broken record of me saying the same thing that these guys have already emphasized. Colin Simmons was the best defensive end for sure within the SEC conference and arguably one of the best in the country.
Hills, do you want me to time you? You got this.
I got
It's
it.
gonna be different.
You didn't time nobody else either. So
I wanted you. You've been waiting.
I've been one Mississippi in my head the whole time Oak was talking. He definitely.
You about 20 seconds in right now.
I'm gonna go co-defensive MVPs,
Oh, here we go.
and I'm gonna select Jelani McDonald and Michael Tapp.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because I got a chance to see what this secondary looked like without him. Like, as simple as that. They went from looking like the best damn thing I've seen playing football to like looking like, hey, I'm not sure we understand the concept of pass defense. And that's just the truth. You look at the middle third of that season after the Kentucky game, it was abuse. It was abuse. And if you wanted 100 yards receiving or more, come play Texas. Like, it was abuse. So I got a chance to see what it looked like without them. And then I got a chance to see what it looked like with them again. Both of them inserted back into the lineup and healthy towards the back end of the season, and all of a sudden the defense is playing better. And I'm like, Now, don't get me wrong. The most talented, who should take away all the awards, is going to be Colin Simmons. Anthony Hill, I'm glad he's going on to the next level. He's going to have a hell of a career. But when I think about like a MVP, the most valuable to what needed to be done for the Texas defense to have success, I'm looking at the back end and I'm saying, without those guys, it didn't matter. Without those guys on the back end, nothing else it didn't matter, because we couldn't get to the quarterback fast enough. The ball was coming out and it was going for 6. So, obviously there's other contributing factors, but when I look at like co-defense MVP, I want to go ahead. I'm going to take Taff and McDonald.
I like that. All right.
So now we're just changing the rules. We get half picks.
Hey, the thing about it is this.
There were no rules.
If you don't like the way the things are playing out, just change it into your favor.
There you go.
You know, that's the way you.
That's fair. I didn't set any rules.
That's the thing. He didn't set the rules.
I didn't have someone going halvesies and Anthony Hill not getting a vote. That's wild.
Absolutely.
No, I knew you were gonna do something a little different, but I think.
Wait. What does that mean, Nick? What does that
I
mean?
knew you were just.
You're a
gonna go
disruptor.
with the string. You can throw a little rock in the water.
I'll take that.
There's nothing wrong.
He's the wild.
And that was an accident.
It's important. Yeah.
He's a wild.
100%.
Our wild card is Jay.
Well, like, I think this is, to me, this is a lot harder than the offense. I think you've got a lot of arguments here. I think one person I left off the list, Ethan Burke, changed some games by the end of the year. He played some amazing games, block kicks, etc. I think you can make a lot of arguments. I think the one we didn't really talk about, and it's because he didn't get talked about the entire season, is Malik Muhammad. And once again, when you don't talk about a defensive back, Rod knows this, that's a great thing. And honestly, it kind of made it harder on our younger defensive backs, because he was so dang good that nobody tested him. He had 2 picks against OU and that huge game against Red River. I love Malik. I think he deserves some flowers. Ty Anthony Smith's got some arguments in here, but I'm gonna have to go, like Anthony Hill too, but I'm gonna have to go Colin Simmons, because Colin, it's tough to argue that he's a game changer, and having him coming back on defense and Arch coming back on offense that's gonna be fun.
Pivotal.
Big reason you lost that Florida game was because you didn't have Malik Muhammad, and that freshman receiver went off.
Yep.
Went crazy.
Yeah.
Went off. That's the point I was.
The only game he went off in.
Yeah, exactly. That was like his whole season.
That was the season,
So the Threevo for Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations, Colin Simmons. What is our now to the most important category, Special Team Player of the Year. I know everyone's as excited as I am about this.
Right.
So, but not for me. So for you guys, this is an easy one. But we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna take a while to unpack this, so I'll go last. But Hills, who do you have for Special Teams Player of the Year? Obviously,
you're gonna spin
Ryan
this.
Diblet, the kick returner, Mason Shipley, the
Okay.
kicker,
I just was wondering.
Jack Bomeister, the punter.
long
Let's not
snapper.
forget the man we just had on the show, Lance St. Louis, steady man at
Return unit.
So
We could all go through. It's Ryan Niblett.
yeah,
Like,
Give me
Ryan Niblett.
the entire punt return unit that had to block for him.
Yeah, Marshall everywhere.
That's nice. I like that.
Wild card on I wild card the wild card.
He's a return guy. Though. Just say he get a whole group.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the whole
It's
special
Ryan
teams.
Niblett.
Fozzy's a return guy.
Without Ryan Niblett, you got 2 more losses on the schedule.
100%. Yeah.
Like, just as simple as that. You probably still beat Oklahoma, but that's the only one. You don't beat Mississippi State, you don't beat Kentucky.
Nope.
You got 2 more losses on the schedule if that guy isn't the guy catching the punt. So it feels pretty simple.
Fozzy, a true special teamer.
Boom. Ed Nib. He already said it.
Yep.
The reason why the impact is there.
Yep.
It finished number 2 in the country in punt return average and yardage and touchdowns as well. So, I mean, he was explosive, electric, everything that you wanted to see from a punt returner, flipping the field position, putting points on the board. That's what Ryan Niblett was.
One of my favorite little factoids about Ryan Niblett, I'm picking Ryan Niblett, of course, is that when Kirby Smart kicked that onside kick, he said in the postgame one of the reasons was he did not want to kick to Ryan Niblett.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I think it was better if this dude onside kick rather than kick to that
So
dude.
does he get penalized for that?
Yeah,
Is that
no,
what it was?
but that's respect, though. When Kirby Smart's like, it's a better football decision to onside this thing
That's
rather than
crazy.
kick to Ryan Niblett.
That's crazy.
Respect.
Big time.
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah, Ryan Niblett. It was one of those things where you kind of, throughout the season, you kind of didn't know what he can do because he never really had a breakout year like that. And then he broke out, and then we started counting on him. And defensively, I know as a defender, you want to get off on 3rd down so you can get the ball to him, and he can be a game changer. And he won a couple games for us, which we really, really need. It's the ultimate team game. So Ryan Niblett is up there big time.
Yeah. Oh,
It's got to be Niblett for me, too. I think the punt return against Mississippi State was probably my favorite play of the entire season. But I do want to shed some light on Mason Shipley. I thought he was outstanding for us this year. After coming off a year where our kicking game, and especially kicking field goals, was a little bit shaky, I thought Mason Shipley had an outstanding season. 20 of 24, 83% overall. Here's the crazy stat. Between 40 and 49 yards, 7 for 7. So you cross
money.
you get into that 40-yard territory, it's automatic. So
Damn.
That's so spiteful. I love that.
Nick, is that yours?
No,
That's all him. That's his
Do
phone.
that to you, though.
Mason, I'm sorry, I got to wrap it up because of Jeremy Hills, but my vote goes to Niblett, but shout out Mason Shipley.
I love that. But you're choosing Niblett. No. Higgs.
Wow, that was cold, man.
I respect it, though.
Well, Mr. Hills did say without Ryan Niblett, we'd probably lose 2 games. I'm going to go a step further. Without Ryan Niblett, we're probably not doing a superlative show this year. So
That's real.
That's
Yeah.
Great point.
Well, O gave a lot of flowers to Mason Shipley. I mean, Jack Bowmeister deserves a lot of credit for what he did this year. He, at 59 punts, averaged 45 yards a punt, longest 62, put a ton inside the 20, changed the game. And I think we saw how much of a weapon a punter can be and had a great year. Like you said with Shipley. Shipley changed the game for us there. But legit, Niblett won games for us, so it's tough not to vote for Ryan Niblett. So
I'm going to get in the other receiving category of votes. Jack Bowmeister gets a vote because he went online and bought one of our T-shirts.
Let's go. Let's take that.
did not ask for a freebie. Just he paid and we shipped.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Did that NIL, man?
Good dude.
Nice.
Solid dude. I love that. But the Threevo for Special Teams Player of the Year. Congratulations to Ryan Niblett.
Well done.
Great.
Stuff. All right, these I think some of these will get a little tougher. So all right, so Freshman of the Year. Now this one's a tough one. I'm gonna throw out a bunch of people. I could miss some here. We got Grayson Littleton, Justice Terry, Kalik Lockett, Cade Phillips, Lance Jackson, Jonah Williams. A lot of guys who contributed. A lot of young guys who contributed. But I think this one's gonna be a little bit. I think Higgs, you're gonna have to actually tally this one. So
Yeah,
you know.
I'm on.
I know you're Googling right now, but I don't think so.
I don't think
All
so.
right. I don't think so either, actually. But after I said it, I think it was easy. Go ahead, Hills.
Give me Grayson Littleton.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah, that kid. I mean, he jumped on the scene early.
Show the play of him and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, is it safe to say that's the first receiver off the board next year?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, you go toe-to-toe with him and did a damn good job. I'm like, and then he played at that level whenever he was in the game going forward, right? Yep. So, yeah, I'm really trying to think of it. I can't think of a glaring mistake that he made. And that's saying a lot for, a freshman. He getting out there. True freshman's getting out there just playing ball from the beginning.
Plug and play. Walk
Yeah,
in.
give me Grayson
Doors. Yeah.
And let me add on to that. It's Grayson Littleton for me as well. Playing that nickel position, we all know they're probably asked to do the most.
Yep.
From a DB perspective, having to come in, feel the run. Let's not forget that.
Usually
47
he
tackles.
Yeah,
Right.
Usually inside.
It has to be. So 47 tackles by him, but then they also are asked to guard either the fastest or the quickest or the most twitchiest receiver on the opposite side of the ball. He was able to have 2 interceptions, a couple PBUs as well, 6 PBUs to be precise. What do you have? 3 TFLs, I believe, also in the tackle game.
Yeah.
So that shows you the physicality that he possesses and then his ability to be versatile. So I think it's Grayson Littleton, and I don't think it's close.
It is Grayson Littleton. It would Kate Phillips, if he had started more games,
Yeah, that's fair.
I think would have been in a conversation. The youth movement in the secondary, to the point that Jay Hills was making, it really did improve that secondary later on in the season. It's Grayson Littleton. I played in the secondary, guys. The nickel position easily, as far as the point out, toughest position to play in that secondary, in my opinion. And for him to be able to start as a true freshman, I mean, to me, that says he's an NFL player. I don't know when and how that's going to happen for him, but that guy's got a Sunday skill set.
And he wasn't the biggest recruit in that class,
Right.
right? Like, people weren't talking about him, and he just came in and separated himself.
Yep,
Look,
agreed.
Florida.
Yeah, not many people can step in as a freshman, as a true freshman, and play at the highest level, especially at Texas. And Grayson Littleton stepped right in, played the hardest position on the field, on the defensive side of the ball. When you talk about being able to blitz, being able to play the run and play the pass, really made some plays early, even against Ohio State. I mean, you can see him out there mixing it up. So, man, that's remarkable, and that's somebody that we're going to have for at least the next couple of years. That's going to be staple on our defense.
Yeah, it's got to be Littleton. For a second, Justice Terry kind of crossed my mind because he started heating up towards the end of the season. I want to say Michael Taft's last interception at Texas was caused by Justice Terry on a great rush. So he crossed my mind, but it has to be Littleton. He's just so sticky in coverage, breaks on the ball. I'm just excited to watch him play moving forward, man. Hopefully we get 3 more seasons out of him, but we'll see. So my vote goes towards Grayson.
got 2, mate.
I think it's a strong 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Littleton as well. I think most people, when you look at that first game, they're like, man, he's gonna go off for 100 yards of catches, and to shut him down the way they did just kind of set the tone for him defensively. So I'll go with Littleton, and I thought we were gonna have some variety in this one, but it looks like Nick, what you got?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I think you could talk much like you did about Justice Terry. I think Lance Jackson showed some moments, but it's the same thing where they didn't play as much. Some of the stuff. Same with Cade, where they started playing later. But Grayson was plug and play. I mean, I remember going to that first game nervous. I'm like, dang, we're putting this kid, like, I'm like, who's only not at first? Like, we're not. And then, on, Jeremiah Smith, and he just, he did everything he needed to, and it was just impressive. So, our freshman of the year, the Threevo goes to Grayson Littleton. DBU, baby.
Love it.
All right. Breakout player of the year, the person who went from, I wouldn't say unknown, but went from, but what are we doing here?
I heard the DBU shout out. I would have sent my vote elsewhere if I knew. if I knew that's what we was doing.
So breakout player, the person who burst on the scene, obviously, broke out. That you guys get it. All right, the options: Colin Simmons, Arch Manning, Ryan Niblett, Trevor Gooseby. We got a bunch. So let's go, Higgs. You go first.
Man, I feel like, Arch is kind of the answer, but I'm also going to go with Simmons. Just his what he did on the defensive side of the ball, and just I'm a defensive guy, just to watch him just kind of firing on all cylinders every game. I'm going Simmons.
All right.
No, I like the thought process. Arch stands out, but I think he finished the season how a lot of pundits thought he would start the season, so it's hard to call him a breakout. I'm going to have to go Niblett, if I'm being honest. I don't think anybody came into the season thinking he would save the season the way he did for us. And if you did, you are a fortune teller, because he was outstanding for us.
A lot of numbers.
Yeah, he was our most important player this season, and like Jay Hill said, he won us 2 games. So
Yeah, that was great, Oak. I'd say Niblett too. All these guys are worthy of it, but when you talk about breakout player, you talk about somebody where you're surprised, and we were trying to figure out a way to get them on offense, figure out a way to get them going, and special teams, the punt return was the position for him. So nibble it.
Yeah, this is a guy, mind you, who they put at running back. They moved him to defense. They moved him to receiver. Like, they bounced this kid around, and I think he's kind of the definition of breakout to me because he was someone that, I mean, you knew who he was, but you hadn't seen anything from him, and now he's one of the guys that you talk about. We'll be talking about going into next year as a weapon. So my vote's for Niblett.
And real quick, just like your point, they were moving him around because you see how electric he is with the ball in his hands. You got to find a way to put him on the field. So,
I agree. Rod.
I feel like this is going to be boring too because it's hard not to say Ryan Nibblett. I want to say Gooseby because Gooseby had those games in 2024 against A&M, right, against Clemson, where we were like, oh, Gooseby can ball.
He's straight.
Yeah, he's
straight.
He and Archer in the same.
On left side and right side.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't say Gooseby's a breakout, even though, of course, he's awesome. But so it's got to be Nibblett. There's no other to me, there's no other option. Because that guy literally came out of nowhere. Guys, I remember early on in the season, Longhorn fans saying they got to bench Nibblett. Because remember, he wouldn't field the punt.
Exactly.
He was running from punt.
They were rolling.
Oh yeah, we were cursing his name because he wasn't touching.
He wasn't touching. We're like, why is this guy not fielding punt? Turns out if he fields them, he's pretty damn good. So we were right. Don't field the punt. The ball.
I know.
I love that Rod said I don't see any other pick there because I know in Hill's head he's like, oh, I take that bet. Let's get Fozzy's pick.
Yeah, no, it's Nib for me too. You look at the expectations coming into the season. Ryan Nibblett wasn't on anybody's bingo sheet as being as impactful as he was. And you think about Breakout, it's somebody that you don't expect to have the performances that he was able to have. So I think it's Nibblett in my book.
Yep. All right.
Come on.
Here we go.
Wild card.
He's gonna be like,
Give me Colin Simmons.
oh, I thought he's gonna be like Ty Anthony.
No,
Smith.
give me Colin Simmons.
Can that be a breakout?
I'm gonna take you. Just hear me out.
Can that be
Hear me out. The
You didn't
kid was-
expect
the
much
kid-
from him this year.
The kid is not even that. I didn't expect him to lead the SEC in sacks.
No?
I didn't expect him to be the best. I thought he would be pretty damn good.
South Carolina.
I thought he was gonna be pretty damn good. I thought he was gonna be. I'm always interested to see how does a player handle going from being a spot player who makes dynamic plays to a full-time starter that we plan for in our game plan throughout the week.
That's real.
Like, bro, he didn't see single blocks throughout the year. He didn't have the luxury of rushing against the second best offensive lineman that they have, whoever they is. He's seen the best that they have line up against him. He was schemed for and game planned against, and still came out as the best that the SEC had to offer in a category that gets you paid. Tell me you thought that was going to be the outcome. I didn't. So to have like them type of expectations, to have that type of spotlight on you, and then to still outperform the expectation. Yeah. I don't know if it get better than that.
That's fair.
I don't know.
All right.
I had those expectations.
I'm with Jay on that. His best point was how do you go from a situational kind of role player to a
every
full-time starter? But he did have 9 sacks last year.
But his nine last year
As a
his
freshman.
9 last
Also
year.
in the NASCAR package, on predictable passing down. So
Thank you. He came in. No, I'm not here to place blame. I'm not placing blame.
Position to go.
I'm not placing blame.
No, I know you're
I'm
not.
stating the fact. The facts were you were a specialized rusher that had overwhelming majority of your production in a package in a situation that was set for you to win. Versus now everything is flipped.
Yeah.
We are planning for you not to win. You playing 60, 70 snaps a game.
running away from.
We are running away
Roll the
from you.
pocket
We
away
trying to throw. We throwing bluff protections your way. We trying to
Screens.
We want to run at you. We want to get you tired. He got the DJ Johnson treatment.
Yeah.
How do we make this guy slow down?
And still be the best.
And he's still at the end of all of that,
Okay.
with the same amount of games played as everybody else. He outperformed everybody on his.
So,
I don't think DJ ever had a breakout performance after his second season.
nah, DJ couldn't break out because he's got his freshman.
That don't happen no more. That don't happen no.
Now, I don't think Colin is qualified for this award next year.
No.
You know what I mean? But when I look at it this year, I'm always very interested to see. You see it in the league all the time. Whenever you see a breakout performance, let's see what he look like next year.
Following up.
Yeah.
Because now you got a lot of smart people with 8, 9, 10 months of time to prepare to try to take away all the things that you do well.
Yeah.
So then if you follow up that next year, Justin Jefferson,
Elite. You're elite.
and now you become who you are. We can't do nothing but to pay you. That's all we could
That's a good
do.
argument.
All right.
That's a good argument.
I propose for this next award, Nick goes first, since you haven't got to go first yet.
That's a good argument.
Yeah, Nick, go first, Nick.
But
Good argument,
before
Rob.
we do, let's wrap this up. Colin Simmons with 2 votes for Breakout Player of the Year. Ryan Niblett with 5. Our Breakout Player of the Year is our 3 vote goes to Ryan Niblett.
Yep.
You guys, Ryan. Right, he has 2 awards.
Cleaning up.
All right, so most improved player of the year. Here's some suggestions: Arch Manning, Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill, Ryan Niblett, Ryan Wingo, Jelani McDonald, Ty Anthony Smith. I'm just gonna throw a few out there. Look, I think this isn't a super deep cut here. Like I think that Arch Manning had all these expectations on him. Like some people didn't totally know what to expect. Obviously, he hadn't had a full season under his belt. I think that for most improved player, like you watched where he started the season to where he ended the season, he went from preseason hype, being the number 1 pick in the draft, hype, to he's going to take over college football world, to the quote worst player and the biggest bust in the history of college football, to by the end of the year back on everyone saying if he came out this year he'd be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
He gets my vote for most improved player of the year. All right, Higgs.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say much more about that. I mean, he, with all the hype, with all the pressure, and then the rough start to it, and then to kind of turn it around and be playing one of the hottest college football players and teams in the nation to finish up. And I think if they had gotten in, maybe they're in that Miami slot on that championship game. So I got to go Arch as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I got to go Arch as well. Just the mental fortitude, the up and down play at the beginning. We look at that. You go back to that UTEP game. He was a shell of himself. Like that. And for him to be able to bounce back and progressively get better week after week and honestly turn the corner after that Kentucky game, I got to give it to Arch Manning, man. By the end of the season, he was our best player on either side of the football. And we're talking about guys like Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons. And I still think Arch Manning was our best player to end the season. So he gets my vote.
yeah. DJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a different take on this. I think, yeah, I would have to say on the defense side of the ball, probably Ty Anthony Smith or Jelani McDonald. When you talk about most improved, just from what they did last year, because they played last year, but they had different roles this year. Ty Anthony Smith, honestly, he always made a play when he came in. He only played 30, 40, maybe 50% of the snaps. I mean, he switched in and out, never really started, and he's filled up the stat sheet when you talk about forced fumbles or interceptions or tackles for loss. And he had about 40 tackles or whatnot. He only played half the time. But then Jelani McDonald leads the team in tackles. Yeah. So I would, you know what? Just because he's from Waco, I'm gonna go with Jelani McDonald. You know what? I did. I'm gonna go with Jelani. I mean, whenever you have a safety that can lead your team in tackles, I've had that happen to me before. Amada Brooks beat me when I was a freshman or whatnot. But that's a big time. That tells you that he's tough. That tells you that he's durable, and he's a head on.
Yep. Rod.
I'm gonna agree with DJ.
All right.
I mean, DJ knows defense better than me. So, I agree with him about Jelani McDonald, though. Remember early on, and we had Jelani McDonald on the shows, he dropped a couple of picks.
He did.
Yep.
I mean, he's a ball hawk, guys. He's got some ball hawk in him.
Athletic.
Yes, athletic and physical.
Yeah.
Like, he will come up and bring the hammer when he comes up and run support. I like that. Honestly, Derrick, you actually convinced me. I was going to go in a different direction. I take it to Jelani McDonald. That's a good one.
Exciting interception, not just past season, but before.
No question.
Great, I paid out for that pick, but sorry, Foz.
Very compelling argument, but I came into this already making my decision. Y'all not gonna sway me. I agree. I think it's Arch Manning. I look back at the stats, and the tape is another thing that obviously verifies what the stats show. But if you look at the first 4 games in August and September, Arch 61% completion percentage, had 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, right? Threw for 888 yards. And then you go whenever you start getting into SEC play, right? In the month of October, which is where Texas began to struggle its most, he threw 60%, stiffer competition, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then you take it into November where he started hitting his stride and actually elevating his game to the play that Steve Sarkisian wanted him to play at. 62%, his best month throughout the year, threw for 1,147 yards, and then had 9 touchdowns and only 1 interception. So from a passing perspective, he increased by 60 yards. 222 is what he was averaging earlier. And then he finished the month of November averaging 286 passing yards a game with only 1 interception.
And
so
taking
if you
care of
look
the football, too. Yeah.
taking care of the football. And I didn't add in the rushing stats because we know that's there. But he had, over the course of the season, 10 touchdowns rushing the ball as well. But I think that's the perfect example of somebody that as they got the reps and experience that AO mentioned, they began to improve. And the more time under your belt under Steve Sarkisian's offense, you start getting more comfortable. And then we got to see the true Arch Manning that we expected at the beginning of the year. So I got to give it to Arch just because of the way he continuously graduated his level of play and helped this Texas team get to where they finished.
No, I'm not gonna argue that. I mean,
But I am.
no, listen. Everything Fozzy just said, it was super profound. He has a ton of notes over here. I know that he studied it. He's right. He's right. For me, it was just a little bit more simple than that. Week 1, I cut the tape on. We played a really tough Big Ten defense. The last week of the season, I cut the tape on. We played a really tough Big Ten defense. That player that took all the quarterback snaps looked a hell of a lot different.
Yep.
That's the most improved play.
And didn't have the weapons in the Michigan game that he had.
Didn't even need them. He looked that good. He looked that good. Didn't need them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you cut that tape on that week and cut the tape on that week. You're like, that's the same player.
Not different dudes.
So that's the same player.
Good point.
So, yeah.
All right.
point.
Well, with Jelani received 2 votes, Jelani McDonald and Arch Manning received 5. The most improved player of the year goes to Arch Manning. Congrats, Arch.
Archie.
All right, we're gonna do 2 more categories, and we're gonna jump out of here because I know we got to wrap soon. But this one, I like this one. I'm actually really curious. I think there are a lot of good options for this, but play of the year. So I'm gonna throw some out. Arch Manning's run to seal the game against Michigan. Ryan Niblett's punt return against OU. Matthew Caldwell's pass to Emmett Mosley in overtime against Mississippi State. Coming cold off the bench. Arch Manning's rush against A&M to put the game away. Ryan Niblett's punt return against Mississippi State. And Ryan Niblett's punt return against Kentucky. So I think there's a lot of great options here. And I'm very intrigued on what's going to get play of the year. So Jeremy Hills, you may start.
I hope that no other respectable person up here steals my answer. And I'm going to go Ryan Niblett against Mississippi State. Because respectable, I genuinely believe that was the most dynamic. Like it was the player of the year. Like, bro, think without that play, there is no overtime. So that play that you like against Evan with Mosley, Caldwell Mosley, doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. And like also remind yourself of the importance of that game. Like what else happened at that time? Oh,
Thank
I just wanted to be a jerk.
Hey, you got me.
I succeed.
When I look at like
That was for you, Oak.
all of the things that like were happening right before that play, mind you, I mean, I would think I was with you, Shuley, watching the end of that game. You would sit over there like, I can't believe we're about to lose to Mississippi State.
Yeah. We were all mourning.
You lose that game,
Oh, man.
I'll go as far as to say that you may start seeing some mid-season change-ups.
No. Wait, not the game that the Sark rumor came out?
Yeah.
That was right after the Sark rumor about him going to the league, right? That was right before.
I don't know. Like,
That floor, I can't remember.
I'm saying you got a Florida loss already.
You got it for the loss, yeah.
You got a Kentucky game that people, you like, you did what to win that game against Kentucky? And then you got a game on the road against Mississippi State where you are almost a double-digit favorite on the road. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I think of like the weight of everything that happened for that play. You know, I look at that play as a play of the game.
Yeah.
That was good.
Fozzy.
Yeah, for me, I still got to go Arch run to seal the deal against Texas A&M.
It's a good one.
I think that was one of the best games that we've seen in DKR.
We have a gentleman in an Aggie shirt who reacted violently.
That's my dog. That's my dog. I want to give a shout out to him in the sense. What's your name again? What's your name? Tom?
Thanks, Tom.
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom. Shout out. Dom. Shout out to Dom. We're sorry we had to
We
do it.
appreciate you guys showing up once again. It couldn't be a rivalry without you.
Dom's the man. But I don't.
You showed up once again, man.
Dom, there is an 8 o'clock A&M podcast that'll be taken at 8.
But I do believe that run was kind of symbolic of what Arch had to go through. And that's why, for me, it's the play of the year, is just because it showcased the ups and downs, the ebbs and the flows, and Arch Manning kind of taking his time and his moment and absolutely seizing it and making sure Texas ensured the victory at home. So
Love that. Rod?
It is tough. I think Jay Hills is right. It's that Ryan Niblett play, because then the Arch Manning A&M rush doesn't mean as much.
right.
You lose that game. The Caldwell to Mosey play, which was awesome. You don't get back. You were ahead in that Oklahoma game when Niblett
It's sealed.
Yeah.
it sealed it, so you were ahead in that game. Arch Manning Michigan run was sweet, but that Ryan Niblett part, you were down with 38 to 31, something like that, and it was under 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Guys, we were all losing
Had to
hope.
go. You had to
Had
have a miracle.
I was like, if we lose this game, I'm gonna throw something. So take everything away from me. It's like I don't need to. I was like, my wife took my phone. She took like everything. She's like, okay, you just throw the baby's toys. That's enough. All right, because I think we had all lost hope, and it was Ryan Niblett who brought hope back to like 85% of Longhorn Nation, and he did it in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
We went from hopeless to hopeful, and not only hopeful to joyous. Yeah. And so I'm with Oak. Like, I don't remember feeling that much joy all season. Like, it was straight joy. Like I still remember being just to the point where I was in my own head. I felt deliriously happy in that moment, because I knew we were gonna win. Like, we only tied up. I was like, we gonna win.
Yeah.
We gonna win. And I gotta thank Ryan Niblett, because he brought me like old school joy. Unfiltered joy in that moment.
Yeah, I on this one, that you guys made compelling points. I agree. This play couldn't happen, and look, the Ryan Niblett against Kentucky was huge too, because that flipped that.
Yeah,
that put us back.
Yeah,
like
two
that.
of them.
Yeah.
The fourth down stop by the defense against Kentucky
Yeah.
in overtime.
That's on
That
But
Yep.
guys, to have a backup quarterback who's barely played any snaps the whole year.
That was
come in,
impressive. That was
pulled
impressive.
off the bench.
Off the fingertips.
Not only that, changed the play, and he checked into that, and the catch by Emmett Mosley on that too, like everything about that play was like out of a movie.
Yeah.
So that one gets my vote. I'm gonna go against great, but I take nothing against Ryan Niblett. Like, that guy saved our season, so it is what it is.
Yeah, when you talk about the weight of the moment of the play, you gotta go back to when all these plays. We got a couple more to add to it. What were you doing when that play happened? Like, which one were you the most excited about?
Yeah.
Jay Hills, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're right once again, Ryan,
Mississippi State.
I know you're like Ryan Niblett, man. That was. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like a kid. I felt like a kid. So yeah.
You did lose it. So. All right, Oak.
Man, this feels like we back in school. Jay Hill's copying off my classwork. But no, I gotta go Ryan Niblett, Mississippi State. And just like DJ said, it brings you back to a point in time. Like, everybody knows where they were when they were watching that play.
Yeah.
I was late to the post-game show, trying to rush out the door, trying to watch that play but leave at the same time. As soon as he punched it in, that's when I ran out the front door like I had just scored. So that play was unbelievable. And last thing on that play, it felt like a miracle.
Yeah.
Did any other plays on this list feel like a miracle?
That's true.
No, I'm not going to go through the list, but nothing felt like a miracle, like that Mississippi State play.
Fight you on that, but that's all right. I agree. They both felt like cinematic. That Mississippi State game like saved our season.
Yeah,
like
it
did.
did.
People stepped up when they needed to. So I like that.
True. Well, Niblett looks like he's wrapped it up anyway, but I'm going to just kind of side with Fozzy on this. I think the A&M game, it was the most electric I recall being in that stadium in my life.
Yeah.
And just how special that day was, and to have him bust that out, I think kind of a perfect capper to a season that, maybe come up a little short, but to do it against A&M, first time they've been there in 15 years or so, that was pretty special. Even though, yeah, you're right, the Niblet thing. But also, someone talked about Kentucky. If Mark Stoops had half a mind, they would have won that game. So
Same thing with Mississippi State.
And Jeff Levy.
Why do you keep kicking to this guy? Why do you kicking to him?
Made no sense.
Oak pointed that out though. Oak said he doesn't, and I don't disagree. He said, man, I don't think punters are consistently accurate like they are in the NFL to directionally punt and give the ball a reasonable distance and get
out of
away.
Bounds.
Like you try to punt it away from him, you gonna shank that thing.
I know,
this way.
yeah.
Like
It's a great point. You know who did that? The Georgia kicker. He was all SEC, and he had his worst game of the season against Texas.
Trying to keeping it away.
Trying to avoid Niblet the whole time.
But I tell you what, he also got Kirby Smart saying, "I don't give a damn, man," and I kicked that ball.
Stop kicking. And they beat Texas.
Different consequences you got to face.
You're going to be kicking at McNeese State next year if you don't kick it away.
Caldwell got 1 vote. Arch Manning's A&M rush with 2, and then Ryan Niblet's punt return against Mississippi State with 4. Congrats to Ryan Niblet.
Niblet's winning up.
3.
Yeah.
What's that?
As he should.
It was winning the superlatives here. All right, so the last one we're gonna do, I think we end on this, the portal edition, the biggest portal addition to the.
This is a good one.
Here's something to throw out there. We just mentioned him: Matthew Caldwell, the backup quarterback, Murad Watson on the line, Mason Shipley, the kicker, Jack Andrews, tight end, Emmett Mosley, wide receiver, Brad Spence, edge linebacker, Hero Kanu on the line, Cole Brevard on the line, and Jack Bomeister, the punter. I mean, there's probably some others that we missed, but those are kind of what I have down here. Let's go you Hills.
Give me Mason Shipley. Yeah. Give me Mason Shipley. I'm gonna tell you why, because the kicking was so bad last year that the guy. No, not easy. It was tough, and that's why it was. That guy. It was so tough that it looked like wind was in the Atlanta Dome when we it looked like wind was in that thing. We missing kicks inside the dome. Looked like wind.
Why is Bert catching strays right now?
I was very upset that these things were happening.
He's a friend of the podcast.
And he played on the national title team. On that team.
Listen, what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. We went and got Mason Shipley, and that solidified a very shaky spot for us. We felt, I don't know about y'all, but I felt comfortable knowing that if we get to a certain point on this field, it should be point.
Yeah, true.
Right? And I didn't always feel that way last year. And I think that the staff supported that. I mean, how many times was Sark going for it and not going? There was no consistency there. It's like, all right, we going to go for it here or not? Because we don't know.
We can't, right?
Right? So, we were trying to, I won't harp on the point too much. We were trying to coach around not trusting the kicking.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree.
Bro.
I won't argue with you on special teams.
So Mason Shipley, he came in and became very solid to the point where if he missed one, he was like, oh, very solid to a spot that was shaky.
Yep.
Well, for me, it is Throwback Thursday. It makes me think of the song, I Need a Hero.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Right?
You just can't.
So give me Hero. Yeah, I could sing too. Uplift, hire me if you need any entertainment at any other events that you do.
Doing lunchtime jingle.
But Hero Kanu, I thought, was the most impactful transfer. You look at the rush defense as he played the interior defensive line. Texas finished top 14, giving up just a little over 100 yards per game, which is saying a lot when you look at the SEC conference and the slate of running backs that they had to face week in and week out. He led every interior defensive lineman in almost every statistical category.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And his impact was felt. 30 tackles. He had 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, PBU. And he was the focal point that nobody necessarily expected to be kind of holding down the interior defensive line when we lost so much production at that position. So I thought he did a fantastic job of shoring up the amount of talent that we lost.
I want to give it to Emmett Mosley, but he didn't play enough. Huh? But I know. I'm not agreeing with Foz. Foz is right. It's Hero because, think about it, guys. Hero played more snaps than any of your D tackles. Think about it. You just got there.
Yeah.
And remember, he was actually playing. I think he played more snaps than any D tackle in the Ohio State game.
Yep.
He played more than any other D tackle. So they liked him really.
From the jump.
From the jump, they liked him. So I agree with Fozzy, considering what you lost there, and considering I don't think anybody saw him coming in to fill that big of a role on the D-line, I think it is Hero because he played really well. We don't talk enough about him, but he was arguably your most consistent interior defensive lineman all season long.
Yeah.
It's Hero.
I thought I was gonna like go against the grain of this pick, and then Fozzy says it, you said it, but I think Hero's the guy. I think I specifically remember before the season reading on 2 different recruiting sites, and this is a good note for everyone yelling about the transfer portal right now and who's frustrated about this and that. Hero was a guy that every site wrote, this will be a good depth piece for Texas who could see some action. Like I read that on 2 sites. And like no one expected anything, and he turns out, if he keeps playing like this, people might actually learn how to pronounce his last name. Which for the record, thank you Thomas Stepp. Taught us in our interviews with Hero that it is not Kanu. Not Canoe. It's Hero Kanu.
Yes.
Also, really, I don't know if you guys saw his little soccer video he did during the year with the U.S. soccer team. He's pretty talented.
Got good
dude.
feet, man.
Athlete.
Soccer was.
With an F, athlete.
Yeah, he's great. All right, DJ.
I like that Hero Kanu. Kanu. That was my initial pick, just because I have a lot of
These linebackers.
I take a lot of pride when you talk about playing the defensive line position, and he played the most, and he has the most stats, so he did a lot at that most physical position on defense. But man, you can't. Jay Hills is right again, man. I just say when you talk about Shipley, that was a spot that we needed the most, and we filled that spot in the transfer portal, and he did, and it worked out for us. So, I mean, I just think he nudged him off just a little bit. But Hero was my first choice, but I'll go with Shipley.
It's a fact.
Tight right now.
Yeah. Man, it's gonna hurt me because I'm gonna have to take a vote away from a D lineman.
Wow.
But I'm gonna have to go Mason Shipley as well.
Dude, Higgs just got a big responsibility now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you want me to break it? Because I didn't have either of them.
Oh,
let's
Real
go.
quick.
Let's let Oak finish.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Oak.
Real quick, and if I'm gonna take a vote away from a D lineman, it has to be for a good reason. So my reason is we're talking about guys single-handedly winning games for us, and I'm not saying he single-handedly won this game, but you talk about playing a pivotal piece. That Kentucky game, outside of that Niblet touchdown run, or not touchdown run, but punt return for a touchdown, outside of the 4th down stop, Mason Shipley had a 53-yarder in that game. 53 yards, ice cold. And not only that, had another field goal in overtime. So he had ice running through his veins throughout that whole game. And if we did not have him as our kicker, I don't think we win that game. So that is my logic. I have to go Mason Shipley.
And it hurts me that I may have cost a special teamer an award if I had voted for Hero. But
You just lost your D lineman card, man. It's over.
hurts. All right, Higgs, what do you got?
Well, when I wrote this up, I said the portal works if you can work it award, and I'm picking Matthew Caldwell. Sark knew that, hey, if Mining goes down, I need a veteran. The same way today he signed MJ Morris out of Coastal Carolina. Even if he comes in and throws a couple passes, he got paid a little bit, and I put him as the portal winner. All right. Which also means that Hero and Mason can share the award.
I like this. All right, so the portal works if you can work it award. Best portal player of the year will be shared by Mason Shipley and Hero Kanu. Shout out. All right, that wraps up our show, guys. This was a lot of fun. I think we appreciate you guys for coming out. Thank you so much to the folks at UPLIFT Desk for hosting this, for get the food, the drinks, all of these things. They've got amazing stuff, and we're not just saying that. We really believe in this stuff. We really like this stuff. We if Higgs sits at an UPLIFT Desk in our studio.
I stand.
Or stands at our UPLIFT Desk.
Yeah. Let us know.
I gave you guys a little taste of the medicine today.
No.
But we're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna stick around and do some questions. But we appreciate everyone coming out and hook 'em.
Welcome.